Let me show you here with Caledonia Investments 5250, FTSE 250, exactly what a classic MACD and stochastic setup look like for us. Now here, this is not an entry point. What we see here is still what looks like a downtrend continuing, arguably. What with the MACD falling off, you could argue it's flattened or it's going horizontal there, but I'm not entirely convinced. So we certainly don't have a buy signal yet. The only positive thing we have here is that we've got some positive divergences. In other words, the stochastic has made higher lows. That's one low, that's another low, and another low there, and the price hasn't followed. Well, that's a bullish signal, but in and of itself, not enough for us to buy at this stage. We fast forward, and here what we see is we see the price break out, because that price move is sufficiently high that we can see it having moved from either two ways of looking at it, either this kind of consolidation here, and even if you want to move it higher, you could say some kind of consolidation move even as high as that. We'd probably use something like this, because that horizontal line is then hitting most of the tops of the bars. But even that aside, you can argue even if you took this line, it's a breakthrough. Even if you took this line there, I mean, you'd have to do something like this, which seems a bit too meaningless to have said that it hasn't broken through. So that's definitely some kind of price breakthrough there, because that high is higher than the high for quite a number of days. And the MACD supports us to some extent here. It's not only going flat, it started to rise. It seems almost certain to break its own dotted red line, which is its own moving average. That's another bullish indicator, and the stochastic following through. So this is the point at which we would say any move the next day higher than this, higher than the previous day's high, certainly seems a strong reason to get in. And what happens? Well, the next day we do indeed get that move above the previous day's high. In fact, we open there, and then we shoot up. And you see the MACD following through, the stochastic following through. And the next day we continue, and so forth. We continue. As you can see here, we see some real serious acceleration. We see the MACD rising quite sharply, and it looks set like it'll continue higher up, as will these. The stop losses, if you're risk averse, you'd want to look to try and put something along here, maybe the 2-day low. Given how fast it's going, chances are it's not even going to get to that, and you could even be very risk averse and say you'll put it there. Anyway, that's a classic example of the use of the MACD and the stochastic as I described, where everything's gone right. Now, it doesn't go right 100% of the time. It goes right 7 times out of 10. But this shows you just how well it can go when it does indeed go correct.